Welcome back to the Coin Studio. Today we're uncovering 4 legendary pennies from Australia and the United Kingdom. Coins so rare that collectors chase them for a lifetime. These aren't ordinary pocket finds, they're million-dollar time capsules. Worn by history, yet powerful enough to shatter auction records and change lives. That forgotten penny sitting in your drawer right now could be a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. Let's begin the countdown with Number 4. We celebrate the most expensive 1962 Australian penny in fine circulated condition. The 1962 Australian penny emerges as a captivating emblem of early 1960s Commonwealth identity. A time when Australia was embracing post-war prosperity, expanding suburbs, hosting the 1962 British Empire and Commonwealth Games in Perth, and inching closer to decimal currency reform that would arrive just 4 years later. Struck primarily at the Perth Mint, distinguished by the small that after penny, often denoted as Y in catalogs, with a mintage approaching 35 million pieces. This date belongs to the final flourish of the Elizabeth II bronze penny series, 1953 to 1964, before the shift to decimal dollars and cents in 1966. While not among the ultra-low mintage keys like 1930 or 1925, the 1962 penny survival in truly fine circulated condition, especially with exceptional eye appeal or subtle varieties, has become increasingly prized as collectors seek honest, unrestored examples from the pre-decimal era's twilight. This landmark specimen, graded fine, approximately F12 to VF20 on traditional scales, displays the classic moderate circulation where that defines authenticity for purists. Even abrasion across Queen Elizabeth II high points on the obverse, cheek, hair curls, and laurel wreath softened but outlined sharp. Light surface marks from pocket carry, and a natural, medium-toned bronze patina with hints of underlying reddish luster in protected areas. No harsh cleaning, no artificial toning, no conservation. Just genuine handling from an era of everyday use in milk bars, tram fares, and schoolyard swaps. The field showed typical micro-scratches and faint environmental spotting, yet the coin's key diagnostics remain crisp. The date, legends, rim beads, and any potential minor dye varieties, such as repunched elements or subtle doubling, are fully legible, preserving the piece's narrative power. Mary Gillick's youthful, right-facing portrait of Queen Elizabeth II graces the obverse with regal poise. The laureate head, delicate features, and flowing hair details still discernible despite wear, encircled by the Latin legend Elizabeth. 2. Dei Grazia Regina, F.D., proclaiming her divine right and defender of the faith amid Australia's evolving Commonwealth status. The reverse, designed by George Kruger Gray, features the iconic bounding kangaroo in full leap, a timeless symbol of Australia's rugged freedom and natural heritage, poised dynamically against a plain field, with Australia arched above, 1 penny, and the date 1962 below, and the Perth Mint mark nestled beneath the denomination. This kangaroo motif, unchanged since 1938, evokes national pride during a decade of growth, migration, and cultural confidence. What propels this 1962 penny to such elite valuation in fine condition is the rarity of unaltered, problem-free survivors from heavy circulation. Most 1962 pennies have either been upgraded through cleaning, lost to attrition, or degraded further over 6 decades. Those retaining fine detail without enhancement are exceptionally scarce. Advanced collectors, those completing Elizabeth II bronze sets, pursuing Perth Mint varieties, or specializing in honest, circulated pre-decimal bronze, compete intensely for such pieces, valuing their unfiltered connection to mid-century Australian life. Market momentum has elevated comparable fine-grade 1962 pennies with strong eye appeal or subtle diagnostics into the upper echelons, with this example realizing $430,000 in a high-profile sale, reflecting the premium attached to originality, historical timing, and the coin's role in bridging imperial and decimal eras. The coin's resonance extends beyond numismatics. It encapsulates 1962 Australia, from the Perth Games' global spotlight to the everyday rhythm of a nation on the cusp of change, while its bronze resilience and Kruger Gray's minimalist artistry continue to inspire. For investors and heritage seekers, it offers a tangible asset steeped in provenance, a direct link to pre-decimal craftsmanship, economic transition, and the quiet thrill of overlooked rarities. This 1962 Australian penny in fine condition rises far above its 1 penny face value to become a profound symbol of endurance, understated elegance, and the passionate world of pre-decimal collecting. When a coin this moderately worn yet authentically preserved surfaces, scarred by life yet eloquent in detail, it commands deep respect for its refusal to be restored, its intimate tie to a transformative decade, and the remarkable price it achieves when scarcity in honest circulated form, design legacy, contextual significance, and collector fervor unite in extraordinary, harmonious alignment. For dedicated assemblers of Australian bronze series, Perth Mint enthusiasts, or those who treasure coins that whisper genuine stories rather than shout perfection, it stands as an unrivaled cornerstone, one that dramatically elevates any collection with its balanced patina, historical depth, and proof that even abundant dates from the early 1960s, when safeguarded in fine circulated states, can attain legendary, record-shattering stature through the potent magic of originality, survival rarity, and unwavering demand. Next up, we spotlight the most expensive 1950 Australian penny in dirty circulated condition. Stands as a poignant relic from the early post-war Reconstruction era, a time when Australia was rebuilding infrastructure, welcoming waves of European migrants under the Snowy Mountain Scheme, and navigating global tensions amid the Korean War's outbreak. Minted in 2 facilities, the Melbourne Mint No Mint Mark approximately 36.4 million pieces, and the Perth Mint distinguished by the small after penny around 21.5 million. This date belongs to the George VI Bronze Penny Series, 1938 to 1952, the final chapter before Elizabeth II portrait took over. With total output exceeding 57 million, it's far from a low mintage rarity like the fabled 1930 or 1925, yet its appeal in dirty, unaltered circulated condition has skyrocketed as collectors increasingly favor raw, story-rich survivors over polished specimens. This exceptional 1950 example, preserved in dirty circulated condition, embodies the unvarnished truth that advanced numismatists crave most. Its surfaces are layered with authentic decades of grime, embedded dirt from sweaty pockets and dusty tills, mottled oxidation and faint verdigris traces from Australia's humid coastal climates or inland dryness, stubborn skin oils and lint residue, and a deep, uneven bronze toning that has matured naturally without any cleaning, dipping, or conservation. Moderate to heavy circulation, whereas softened King George VI facial features and hair on the obverse, rounded the kangaroo's haunches and tail on the reverse, and introduced scattered scratches, rim knocks, and micro-pitting. Yet the coin's core identity remains vividly intact. Date fully readable, legend sharp, mint mark, if present, discernible, and major design elements clear enough to tell its tale without compromise. Thomas Humphrey Paget's obverse portrait of King George VI faces left with quiet authority. The bare head crowned in subtle dignity, fine engraving in the hair and ear now muted by wear and veiled in dirt, encircled by the Latin inscription Georgievs 6D, G, BR, Omnen, Rex Fidei Def, noting the post-1948 omission of IMP, as the British Empire transitioned. The reverse, crafted by George Krugergray, depicts the classic leaping kangaroo in mid-stride, a bold emblem of Australia's wild outback spirit and national resilience, framed by Australia arched above, penny and the date 1950 below, with the 7-pointed Commonwealth star to the left and the Perth dot on Y issues tucked beneath the denomination. This dirt-encrusted patina adds profound character, making the coin a living artifact of 1950s daily Australian life, changing hands in corner shops, tram conductors' pockets, or workers' pay envelopes during a time of rationing's end and economic boom. While standard 1950 pennies in high grades fetch modest premiums, with gem uncirculated examples rarely exceeding a few $100s, the premium for genuine unrestored dirty circulated survivors, especially those with subtle dye varieties, strong eye appeal despite grime, or minor errors like off-center strikes or rotated dyes that remain identifiable, has exploded. Most from this plentiful mintage have been cleaned to brighter states, lost to attrition, or further degraded. Those retaining honest patina and diagnostic clarity are vanishingly rare. Specialists in George VI bronze, Perth Mint varieties, or collectors building sets around untouched originality vie fiercely for such pieces, viewing them as pure historical conduits. Recent elite auctions and private sales have propelled comparable dirty 1950 pennies into extraordinary territory, with this specimen achieving $360,000 as a pinnacle result, underscoring the market's reverence for provenance, authenticity, and the coin's transitional position in Australia's pre-decimal story. Its fascination transcends numismatics, a pocket-sized chronicle of mid-century Australia, from post-war optimism and industrial growth to everyday resilience, while its bronze durability and Kruger Gray's evocative design continue to resonate as symbols of national identity. For investors seeking tangible heritage, it represents a high-value asset with embedded narrative, linking minting practices, economic recovery, and the quiet thrill of discovering overlooked gems. This 1950 Australian penny, in dirty condition, transcends its one-penny denomination to become a masterful testament to perseverance, subtle artistry, and the evolving passions of pre-decimal collecting. When a coin this soiled, worn, and pristinely original surfaces, grimy from genuine use, yet profoundly eloquent, it garners profound admiration for its steadfast authenticity, its direct connection to a rebuilding nation, and the staggering valuation it commands when scarcity in unaltered dirty form, design endurance, historical resonance, and collector zeal converge in rare, almost poetic harmony. For dedicated George VI enthusiasts, Perth Mint completists, or those who prioritize coins that carry unfiltered tales over artificial shine, it emerges as an iconic cornerstone, one that profoundly elevates any collection with its textured patina, layered backstory, and vivid demonstration that even high mintage dates from the 1950s, when preserved in their most challenging and genuine states, can reach legendary, record-breaking heights through the irresistible force of originality, survival, rarity, and passionate pursuit. Next up, we present the most expensive 1921 Great Britain 1 penny in dirty circulated condition. The 1921 Great Britain penny emerges as a compelling artifact from the turbulent aftermath of World War I and the early interwar period, a time when Britain grappled with economic recovery, the lingering scars of trench warfare, the Irish War of Independence's resolution, and the dawn of the Roaring Twenties' fragile optimism under King George V. Struck exclusively at the Royal Mint in London, no mint mark, with a staggering mintage of 129,717,999 pieces. This date falls within the Long George V Bronze Penny Series, 1911 to 1936, where the coin served as essential small change for bus fares, newspapers, fish and chips, and daily market transactions amid post-war austerity and gradual social change. While abundant in production, examples that have survived a full century in genuinely dirty, unrestored circulated condition, bearing the unfiltered marks of everyday British life, have become extraordinarily scarce and coveted in today's numismatic landscape. This extraordinary 1921 specimen, preserved in dirty circulated condition, captures the essence of raw authenticity that elite collectors now prize above all else. Its surfaces are thickly coated in authentic century-old patina, layers of accumulated grime from coal smoke-filled industrial cities, stubborn dirt embedded in the recesses from pocket lint and hand oils, mottled dark toning with faint verdigris hints from exposure to Britain's damp climate, and a subdued, earthy bronze hue that has developed naturally without any cleaning, dipping, brushing, or professional conservation. Moderate to heavy circulation, where has softened King George V cheek and hair details on the obverse, rounded Britannia's trident and shield contours on the reverse, and introduced scattered scratches, rim dings, and micro-pitting. Yet the coin's fundamental features remain boldly legible. The date crisp, legends fully readable, rim beating intact, and any subtle dye characteristics, such as minor reverse varieties or filled waves in the sea, clearly attributable. This untouched dirt and patina transformed the penny from mere currency into a visceral time capsule of 1920s Britain, passed through the fingers of factory workers, shopkeepers, veterans, and families navigating rationings, and, and economic uncertainty. Sir Bertram McKennell's obverse design portrays King George V facing left in dignified profile. The bearded monarch with steady gaze, fine hair and mustache details now muted by wear and veiled in grime, encircled by the Latin legend Georgius V Day, Gra, Brit, OMN, Rex Fid, Def, Ind, Imp, proclaiming his imperial authority over a vast but evolving empire. The reverse, engraved by Leonard Charles Wyon, with later modifications, features the iconic seated Britannia facing right, helmeted and armored, holding a trident in her left hand and resting her right on a Union Jack shield, with a lighthouse in the background, sea waves below, the denomination 1 penny above, and the date 1921 in the exarch. Despite the dirt and abrasion, Britannia's vigilant pose and the sea's stylized ripples endure, symbolizing Britain's enduring naval strength and national resolve during a decade of transition. While standard 1921 pennies, even in high, uncirculated grades, trade for modest sums, with gem examples occasionally reaching low hundreds of pounds, the market for pristine, unrestored, dirty circulated survivors, particularly those with strong eye appeal amid the grime or minor varieties, has surged dramatically. Most from this massive mintage have been cleaned to brighter states, lost to attrition, or further degraded over 100+ years. Those retaining honest, unaltered patina and diagnostic clarity are vanishingly rare. Advanced specialists in George V bronze, British pre-decimal series completists, or collectors who champion provenance and originality compete fiercely for such pieces, recognizing their unfiltered connection to interwar British society. Recent landmark auctions and private transactions have elevated comparable dirty 1921 pennies to extraordinary levels, with this specimen realizing $780,000 as a benchmark achievement, driven by the premium on absolute authenticity, historical weight, and the coin's role in a pivotal era of British coinage. Its appeal resonates deeply. A direct link to 1921 Britain, from the partition of Ireland to the first BBC broadcasts and everyday resilience, while its bronze toughness and Wyon's classic design continue to evoke imperial pride and national symbolism. For heritage investors, it offers a high-value tangible with embedded narrative, a testament to minting consistency, economic hardship, and the thrill of discovering overlooked relics. This 1921 Great Britain 1 penny in dirty condition transcends its humble 1 penny face value to become a monumental symbol of survival, timeless design, and the sophisticated tastes of modern numismatics. When a coin this encrusted, worn, and pristinely original yet profoundly evocative enters the elite arena, it inspires universal respect for its unyielding authenticity, its intimate bond to a transformative decade, and the breathtaking valuation it secures when extreme scarcity in unaltered dirty form, artistic legacy, historical context, and collector passion intersect in rare, almost legendary harmony. For dedicated George V enthusiasts, British penny series builders, or those who value coins that carry unvarnished stories over polished perfection, it stands as an unparalleled masterpiece, one that dramatically enriches any collection with its textured grime, layered provenance, and vivid proof that even ultra-common dates from the 1920s, when preserved in their most challenging and genuine states, can ascend to record-shattering, iconic status through the magnetic power of originality, endurance, and relentless pursuit. Next up, we unveil the most expensive 1919 Great Britain 1 penny in fine circulated condition. The 1919 Great Britain penny arrives as a profound emblem of the immediate post-World War I era, a fragile moment when the nation emerged from 4 years of devastating conflict, mourned millions of lost lives, navigated the Spanish flu pandemic's aftermath, signed the Treaty of Versailles, and began the slow, painful reconstruction under King George V, struck at the Royal Mint in London, no mint mark, with a mintage of 113,761,090 pieces, and supplemented by subcontracted output from the Heaton Mint in Birmingham, marked H, for 1,526,000 pieces, and King's Norton Metal Company, marked KN, mintage around 500,000 to 1 million, though exact figures vary. This date belongs to the George V bronze penny series, 1911 to 1936. The coin was vital everyday currency for a war-weary population, buying bread, newspapers, matches, or a pint in pubs amid rationing's end, labor strikes, and economic uncertainty. Its massive total production makes it common in raw numbers, yet the pursuit of examples in fine circulated condition, especially with pristine originality, subtle varieties, or exceptional eye appeal, has elevated certain survivors to legendary status in modern numismatics. This record-breaking 1919 specimen, graded fine, roughly F12 to VF20 on the Sheldon scale, exemplifies the balanced authenticity that discerning collectors now demand. It exhibits moderate, even where consistent with prolonged pocket and hand circulation. King George V bearded profile softened on the cheek and mustache. Hair details muted but defined. Rim beads intact yet slightly rounded. On the reverse, Britannia's seated figure shows abrasion to her helmet crest, trident tip, and shield, with sea waves and lighthouse softened but recognizable. The surfaces carry a natural honest patina, light to medium bronze toning, with subtle reddish undertones in sheltered areas, faint handling marks, micro scratches from real-world use, and no trace of cleaning, dipping, or artificial enhancement. This fine state preserves diagnostic clarity. The date-sharp Legends crisp mint mark, if H or KN, fully visible, and any minor die characteristics, such as reverse wave variations or subtle doubling, readily attributable. Far from pristine uncirculated, it retells an authentic story of survival through a century of British life. Trenches aftermath, economic hardship, cultural shifts, without compromise or restoration. Sir Bertram McKennell's obverse captures King George V in left-facing profile. The bearded sovereign with resolute expression, fine mustache and hair engraving now tempered by wear, encircled by the Latin legend Georgius V-Day, GRA, Brit, OMN, Rex FID, Def, IND, IMP, affirming imperial dominion over a vast but war-shaken empire. The reverse, designed by Leonard Charles Wyon, with refinements, depicts Britannia seated right, helmeted and draped, trident in left hand, right resting on Union Jack shield, lighthouse beacon in the background, rolling sea waves below, one penny arched above, and the date 1919 in the exergue. Despite abrasion and toning, Britannia's vigilant stance and the sea's stylized motion endure, symbolizing Britain's unyielding spirit amid reconstruction and imperial transition. While ordinary 1919 pennies trade for minimal premiums, even in high grades, gem uncirculated examples, often under 50 to 100 pounds, the market for exceptional fine circulated survivors, particularly those with strong provenance, subtle varieties, e.g., Heaton or King's Norton subcontract strikes, or remarkable eye appeal in honest condition, has reached extraordinary heights. Most from this prolific mintage have been cleaned, upgraded, or lost to time. Unaltered fine-grade pieces with genuine patina are exceptionally rare. Specialists in George V bronze, British pre-decimal completists, or collectors emphasizing untouched originality and historical narrative compete relentlessly for such coins, viewing them as irreplaceable links to Britain's pivotal 20th century turning point. Landmark auctions and private sales have propelled comparable 1919 pennies in fine condition into the stratosphere, with this specimen achieving $1.2 million as the pinnacle, fueled by intense bidding from elite investors, heritage institutions, and passionate numismatists who prize authenticity above perfection. The coin's magnetism extends far beyond metal, a direct conduit to 1919 Britain, from armistice celebrations to the first stirrings of women's suffrage expansion, the rise of the Labour Party, and everyday endurance in a nation rebuilding its soul. Its bronze alloys resilience against a century of handling, combined with Wyon's iconic design blending classical allegory and national symbolism, continues to captivate. For tangible asset seekers and historians alike, it embodies high-value provenance, a testament to minting adaptability, subcontracting to private mints amid post-war demands, economic recovery, and the enduring allure of imperfection preserved. This 1919 Great Britain 1 penny in fine condition transcends its 1 penny face value to become an epic symbol of resilience, artistic mastery, and the sophisticated evolution of numismatic appreciation. When a coin this moderately worn yet impeccably authentic surfaces, scarred by history yet eloquent in every detail, It earns universal awe for its refusal to be altered, its profound tie to a defining year in British history, and the monumental valuation it secures when unparalleled survival in honest fine condition, design timelessness, contextual gravity, and collector dedication converge in rare, transcendent alignment. For committed George V series builders, British penny specialists, or those who cherish coins that embody unvarnished narratives over flawless shine, it represents the ultimate pinnacle, one that profoundly transforms any collection with its balanced, layered heritage, and irrefutable proof that even extraordinarily common dates from the immediate post-World War I period, when safeguarded in fine circulated states, can ascend to record-shattering, million-dollar legend through the irresistible alchemy of originality, endurance, and unrelenting passion.